Imagine a place where time drifts with the tide, slow, unhurried, eternal, where ancient coral stone walls murmur stories of sultans, merchants, and wandering sailors, and where the lilting call to prayer floats across the harbor, weaving itself into the creak of wooden dhows gliding over the Indian Ocean. This is Lamu Island, Kenya's coastal enigma, a UNESCO-honored sanctuary on the Swahili coast, where Africa's heartbeat blends seamlessly with Arabian breezes and the spice-laden whispers of the Indian subcontinent. Far from the safari plains of the Masai Mara and the electric pulse of Nairobi, Lamu is a world apart, a tranquil maze of narrow alleyways, historic homes with carved wooden doors, and timeless dhows slipping across turquoise waters like ghosts of an age that never truly ended. Cradled within the Lamu archipelago, just 2 degrees south of the equator, this car-free refuge stretches across 12 kilometers of untouched beaches, mangrove labyrinths, and living coral kingdoms. For more than 7 centuries, it has served as a vital cultural crossroads, a bustling Swahili trading hub where gold, ivory, spices, and enslaved peoples once passed through its port, shaping a layered history both complex and compelling. Yet Lamu is far from a frozen relic. It breathes with the warmth of its people, the Swahili, who blend Islamic devotion, deep Bantu heritage, and centuries of global influence into a vibrant, harmonious way of life. Here, hospitality is not a gesture, but an instinct, and tradition flows as naturally as the tides that cradle the island's ancient shores. In this far-flung journey, we'll lose ourselves in the labyrinthine alleys of Lamu Old Town, drift across the Indian Ocean aboard billowing dhows, and slip deep into the beating heart of Swahili culture. From sunrise dips on deserted sands to moonlit banquets beneath star-salted skies, get ready to disconnect from the modern hum and tune into something timeless. This is Lamu Island, a coastal reverie where history doesn't just live, it sails. Let's begin. Our odyssey opens with Lamu's legendary past, a saga of seafarers, scholars, and cultural fusion that forged the soul of the Swahili coast. Picture the 14th century. Arab and Persian traders seeking calmer horizons guide their vessels into these gentle mangrove-fringed waters and find kinship with Bantu communities already settled here. By around 1370, Lamu rises as a prosperous city-state, one of the earliest and most influential in East Africa's maritime world. Its name, scholars suggest, may stem from lama, sweet in Arabic, or perhaps from the lush mangrove forests that cradled its harbors. Commerce flourishes. Ivory caravans arrive from the African interior, spices and textiles spill in from India, fine porcelain glimmers from Ming-era China. In the crowded souks, Omani, Gujarati, Yemeni, and Portuguese merchants barter side by side, weaving Lamu into a global tapestry long before globalization had a name. The Portuguese arrive in the early 1500s, erecting coastal forts and attempting to dominate the trade routes, yet they never fully subdue the fiercely independent islanders. Their influence flickers and fades, and by the 19th century, Lamu enters a new era under Omani rule. It becomes a pivotal node in the Indian Ocean slave trade, its elegant dhows tragically repurposed to transport enslaved men, women, and children. A shadowed chapter that still resonates in the Swahili collective memory. British colonial forces take control in 1890, bringing abolition and administrative order, but also imprinting their own structures onto the island. When Kenya secures independence in 1963, Lamu is folded into the young nation. Yet its geographical seclusion ensures its traditions, architecture, and cadence remain remarkably intact. In 2001, UNESCO designates Lamu Old Town a World Heritage Site, celebrating it as the oldest, best-preserved Swahili settlement in East Africa. A living masterpiece of coral stone mansions, hand-carved teak doors, breezy courtyards, and mangrove-beamed ceilings. Today, home to roughly 25,000 people, Lamu remains about 99% Muslim, its life guided by the call to prayer, monsoon winds, and the daily return of fishermen steering their dhows into the harbor. Arrival feels like stepping into another era. Land on Manda Island's tiny airstrip, a scenic 45-minute hop from Nairobi, or glide in by ferry from Malindi, often accompanied by playful dolphins racing the bow. Cars are absent here. Instead, over 3,000 donkeys weave through the maze-like alleys, hauling water, timber, and produce, earning Lamu the affectionate moniker Donkey Island. Settle into a restored Swahili residence such as the storied Peponi Hotel in Shela, its shaded verandas framing endless sea views, or opt for a simple guest house in Lamu Town, where rooms can be found for under $50 a night. The ideal seasons to visit? January to March or June to October, periods of dry, gentle weather when temperatures hover around a balmy 28 degrees and light ocean breezes drift through the palms. Step into Lamu Old Town, the island's living heartbeat, where 16th century alleyways twist like ancient veins through a world preserved in coral and time. Lose yourself along Harambee Avenue, the main artery of the old city, flanked by coral ragstone buildings whose thick, cool walls and flat, rain-harvesting rooftops embody centuries of Swahili ingenuity. Pause before the famed doors. Over 300 survive, each carved from mangrove or teak, embellished with lotus petals, swirling vines, hanging chains, and Quranic inscriptions. These weren't mere entrances. They were declarations of prestige, crafted for merchant elites whose fortunes rose and fell with the monsoon winds. At the town's core stands Lamu Fort, a mighty Omani stronghold completed in 1821. Today, a cultural museum, its ramparts offer sweeping views of the harbor, where wooden dhows drift, in and out, like apparitions from another century. A few steps away, the Lamu Museum, housed in a beautifully restored 1892 mansion, displays treasures of Swahili civilization, ceremonial siwa horns, hand-beaten drums, navigation tools, and intricate dhow models that once charted trade routes connecting Africa, Arabia, and Asia. Continue deeper, and you'll hear gentle braying from the donkey sanctuary. Founded in 1987 by Dr. Elizabeth Svensson, here, the island's 3,000 working donkeys receive care, a reminder of how these humble animals power daily life in a town untouched by automobiles. As golden hour paints the alleys, join a guided walking tour. Glide past the influential Riyadh Mosque, built in 1900, epicenter of the Maulidi festival, where thousands gather each year to honor Prophet Muhammad through poetry, chants, and spirited processions. In tucked-away workshops, watch silversmiths hammer filigreed jewelry, carpenters carve bedposts from fragrant timber, and weavers craft vibrant kikois on traditional looms. All the while, the air swirls with scents of cardamom, cloves, and burning coconut husk, a fragrant echo of Lamu's illustrious days as a spice-trading powerhouse. Venture onward to Shela village, just 3 kilometers south, a serene, sun-washed haven where whitewashed stone houses rise above sandy lanes and boutique hotels hide behind flowering courtyards. Its shoreline unfurls into a breathtaking 12-kilometer ribbon of golden sand, flanked by rolling dunes and whispering casuarina trees. Come at first light, Hike the dunes as the horizon blushes pink, then slip into the calm, glassy sea for a sunrise swim. Wander toward the village's modest but storied Friday Mosque, one of 42 across Lamu, its slender minaret rising like a sentinel over a community bound by faith, tides, and centuries-old tradition. And then, the Dhows, Lamu's beating maritime heart. These elegant wooden vessels, handcrafted in open-air yards along the waterfront, descend from ancient Arab blueprints, but are perfected by Swahili boat builders who know every mood of the Indian Ocean. Stretching up to 20 meters, rigged with sweeping lateen sails of cotton or canvas, they once ferried spices, ivory, and stories between Arabia, India, and Africa. Today they carry travelers into Lamu's dreamscape. Hire one at the harbor, about $50 for a private charter, and set sail with a seasoned captain like Captain Ali, who navigates by wind and instinct just as his forefathers steered by stars. Glide toward Manda Island's mystical Takwa ruins, a 16th century settlement abandoned in the 1700s when salt water overtook its wells. Wander through its coral stone mosque, crumbling walls and domed tombs now entwined with baobabs, a haunting tableau of a vanished world. Or continue farther to Pate Island, once a mighty sultanate rivaling Lamu, where ruined palaces, ancient Swahili houses, and whispered legends hint at centuries of conflict, prosperity, and pride. On board, surrender to the flavors of the coast, fresh kingfish grilled over charcoal, bathed in a coconut-rich sauce, paired with ugali and tangy mango chutney. It's a quintessential Swahili feast, a marriage of African staples and Arabian Indian spice roots that shaped these shores. As the dhow leans into the wind and its lateen sail billows like a desert banner, feel the same maritime freedom that once guided explorers and traders, Vasco da Gama among them, when he navigated these waters in 1498. Out here, the horizon stretches unbroken, save for the silhouette of passing dhows gliding like ancient spirits. At the heart of Lamu beats the soul of Swahili culture, a shimmering blend of Bantu, Arab, Persian, and Indian heritage, stitched together through centuries of tide and trade. It lives in the lilting cadence of Kiswahili, the language of the coast, and in the rhythms of daily life. Women in flowing black buibuis and hijabs gather at communal wells, exchanging stories under the shade of neem trees. Men in crisp white kanzus sit on barazas, stone benches built into the fronts of coral houses, debating politics, tides, and family news. Islam shapes the island's pulse. Calls to prayer weave through narrow alleys 5 times a day, rising from 42 mosques. Among them stands Pwani Mosque, dating back to the 14th century, one of Lamu's oldest sanctuaries, its coral stone walls echoing 7 centuries of devotion. Cuisine on Lamu is a seduction of the senses. Taste biryani perfumed with cloves and cinnamon, samosas generously stuffed with spiced meat, or alwa, its glossy rose gold sheen made from semolina, gai, and sugar, served in floating restaurants or from lantern-lit street stalls. Music drifts through the island's labyrinth. Tarab orchestras weave violin, oud, and accordion into slow-burning ballads born from Zanzibar's courts, while the deep thrum of ngoma drums fuels wedding nights where dancers move in swirling, hypnotic circles. Festivals set the island ablaze. During Maulidi in the 3rd Islamic month, pilgrims flood the streets for spirited dhow races, donkey parades, and Sufi chants echoing from the Riyadh Mosque. In November, the Lamu Cultural Festival unfurls poetry slams, henna artistry, traditional dhow building showcases, and vibrant Swahili fashion, an annual heartbeat of heritage. Hospitality reigns supreme. Swahili ukarimu, a coastal version of philoxenia, where guests are greeted with kahawa tungu, a potent ginger-spiced coffee served in tiny brass cups. Lamu guards its mysteries like pearls sealed in an oyster. Slip beneath the waves at Kiunga Marine Reserve and explore a sanctuary teeming with life. Over 250 fish species, sea turtles gliding with prehistoric grace, and dolphins somersaulting in the channels. Legends whisper of jinn haunting forgotten ruins, or of pirate gold buried during the era of Captain Kidd. Remote beaches like Kipungani hide behind mangrove forests, reachable only by dhow, their sands untouched and windswept. In hidden caves, ancient petroglyphs etched into stone hint at pre-Swahili peoples who once navigated these shores. Recent travelers echo the island's enchantment. One post on X calls a Lamu sunset sail pure magic, while another celebrates Shela's slow rhythm as the most authentic cultural immersion on the coast. Today, Lamu evolves with a gentle, deliberate rhythm. Tourism, 10,000 visitors in 2024, a 50% rise, now fuels preservation efforts, yet the island treads a fine line as plastic pollution and climate-driven sea level rise threaten its fragile coast. Grassroots groups like the Lamu Marine Conservation Trust work tirelessly to restore reefs and protect nesting turtles, while eco-minded travelers can stay in solar-powered lodges that blend seamlessly into the mangroves. In a continent of fast-paced safari circuits and booming cities, Lamu remains a serene counterpoint, affordable, authentic, and irresistibly soulful, a retreat where simplicity is luxury. As the moon climbs above the minarets and the call to prayer drifts across the water, surrender to the island's quiet spell. Lamu is more than a destination. It's a state of being, a place where ancient alleyways open into timeless truths and the past feels as close as the tide brushing your feet. Pack light, open your heart, and let the night breeze whisper its welcome. The Dhows are waiting. Thanks for sharing this coastal voyage. Subscribe for more African wonders. Until next time, let the tides carry you.